love to fly up in the sky. Through the clouds I reach so high, climbing up to touch the light. Adventure calls me day and night. The wind, it sings a melody, guiding where I long to be. I'll spread my wings and chase the sun. No limits when the dream's begun. The world below fades out of sight as I soar into the light. The stars above begin to shine, painting trails so bright and fine. Every turn brings something new, endless skies in brilliant blue. The wind, it sings a melody, guiding where I long to be. I'll spread my wings and chase the sun. No limits when the dream's begun. The world below fades out of sight as I soar into the light. I'll spread my wings and chase the sun. No limits when the drum's begun. The world below fades out of sight as I soared into the light.
Hello, good evening, and today we are taking off from this dusky Boston. We're right here at the cargo terminal. That's the FedEx terminal right there. We are not exactly on the same terminal, but it is the same area, cargo area. This is the Premier 737 Boeing converted freighter operated by ASL Airlines, and we are looking forward to this flight as we are today be taking this. Well, this is the Delta terminal, Delta Cargo. Oh well, no one's going to pay attention to that. So we'll be taking this Premier 737 Boeing converted freighter all the way to Nuuk in Greenland. You know, there's no political innuendo with a flight coming from the US directly to Greenland. Actually, there is no direct flight there. There are flights from Iceland there to Nuuk, but you need to go through Reykjavik. So you need to go with Icelandair, and there's one 25-hour stop in Iceland, which isn't optimal. And since today we're taking the freighter, we are authorized this to make this kind of unorthodox unscheduled flight. So yeah. Olá Diniz, boa noite, tudo bem? Mais voo, é verdade, vamos ver. So without further ado, let's go directly inside the aircraft. So as of a few days ago, I've decided not to work with not making the power on and stairs extended. Here we go. We've decided not to move forth with the external inspection stuff because I felt people were kind of bored with that. Pilots do perform the external inspections, of course, but for today's flight, for the simulation, I mean, it doesn't really matter. So right now, there they go. Alright, so these are the famous 737 air stairs that really made Ryanair purchase this plane in the first place. I read somewhere that these stairs were actually designed for Ryanair. Not entirely sure that's true, but if they were, good call. I mean, gives you lots of autonomy. I mean, there's nothing wrong with using the airfield's stairs, but if you can work with your own, you don't need to wait for them. No need to wait for them, right? And for the fact that this is a cargo flight, that makes it even better. So let's just switch off the system now, back to standby, and close the lid. All right, let's go inside. All right, welcome to the flight deck. Betsy's with us today. So yeah, this is going to be a 4-hour flight, but we'll use time compression. So let's load our flight plan, and here it is, out of Boston. Oh, it's locked, isn't it? Yeah. So let's go. We are going through Boston, and there's only a little stretch of flying over the North Atlantic. We're expecting some nice weather. So weather in Boston is looking pretty good. We get 10 static miles of visibility. Clouds are no factor. We do have quite some gusts here, gusts 30, but nothing our little 737 can handle. So, as for Nook, pretty standard, nothing too serious. The weather out there is just negative 11 degrees, so it is quite cold, but it is Greenland, so no big deal. So let's get on with it. So I'm just going to set up my flight plan here. We're expecting flight level 350, cost index 5. We'll get back to that. So let's first start up our positioning, and let's do the pre-flight checklist. Parking brake set. It's not. It is now. Battery switch is. Oh my. Battery switch is on and covered. Ground power connected and on. There it is. IRS selectors both set to nav. I can see already a problem here. Do we have? We do have. Alright, so I was wondering why I didn't have. No, we don't have this amazing feature from Chase plane on this plane, but we can do it like this. So not as good as having a shortcut, but still good enough. Alright, so high-res selectors left and right both set to nav. Cabin utility is on. Both on. Cabin utility. This one is inoperable. IFE passenger seat power. This is the one. It's off. It's on. Emergency lights are armed. Logo lights set on. Position lights set to stereo. Window heat turn on. And we are going to need all the window heat we can for today. Trim air set to on. Where is trim air? There it is. Set on. Recycling fan to auto. Both auto. Both left and right. Packs left and right set to auto. Isolation valve is open. Pressurization panel set to auto. Set. Fuel pump forward 1. On. Altimeters. Let's listen to ATIS. Not this one. This one. And let's listen to
2.15. Altimeter 2968. Landing runway 22 left. Departing runways 15 right, 22 left, 22 right. Temporary flight restrictions are in effect for
Whoops.
Location Oscar.
My bad.
Logan Airport information Oscar. 2022 Zulu. Wind 215 at 19er, gusts 30. Visibility 10. Scatter at 900. Ceiling 1400 overcast. Temperature 17. Dew point 15. Altimeter 2968. Landing runway 22 left. Departing runways 15 right, 22 left, 22 right. Temporary flight restrictions are in effect for Logan. Advise on initial contact you have information Oscar.
71.
Logan Airport information Oscar.
68.
2022 Zulu.
Do I have to do it on this side? No, cross that across there.
Gusts 30.
Alright, baby.
Visibility 10.
Let's go to clearance because I can't hear this mechanical voice. So altimeter set, transponders set. Well, we need clearance first, but we can set this definitely to on, and TARA is set to set off. Flight director set to on, one and the other one, and let's go for the FMC setup once we get altitude clearance. Alright, not altitude, flight clearance. Alright, so let's call it in and request IFR clearance.
Amazon 78 Foxtrot ready to pick up IFR clearance to Nuke Airport.
Hello, Andrew.
Amazon
Sorry.
78 Foxtrot, Boston clearance, cleared to Nuke Airport. Lobster 8 departure, then as filed. Climb via SID, departure frequency 133.0, squawk 4014.
Alright.
Cleared to Nuke Airport, Lobster 8 departure, then as filed, climb via SID, departure frequency 133.0, squawk 4014. Amazon 78 Foxtrot.
Alright, so
Amazon 78 Foxtrot, correct. Contact ground 121.9 when ready for pushback or engine start.
Will contact ground 121.9 when ready for pushback or engine start. Amazon 78 Foxtrot, thanks.
so
You're welcome.
So things are a little different in the United States. As you saw here, we are cleared for this SID, and then it tells us climb via SID. So we are cleared to obey to the constraints of this SID and not given a flight level out of the airport. This is very different from what happens in Europe. You're always cleared to a certain altitude. Not here. Here you just need to follow the SID. Some say that's good, some say that's not that good. I don't really have an opinion. I think it's different systems. So let's request us our flight plan out of Simbrief so we can insert this SID. So we're going to set the payload, set the fuel, and select a route. Flight plan request is flashed. Now let's call GSX to load the plane.
Boarding requested.
Use your own stairs. Alright, flight plan route ready. Let's load it. I tell you, man, data link made our life so easy. So, route unlinked. Do not connect to pushback. Alright, let's go to the menu here. Oh, sorry. Let's go here to the routes. Oh, thinking Airbus now. Departure from Boston. I'm going to select runway. So they gave us they didn't give us a runway. They just said Lipstadt 8, which is favorable to any of these runways. That's very odd. Let's send again to 80, so maybe we can.
Temperature 17, dew point 15, altimeter 2968, landing runway 22 left.
22 left.
Departing runways 15 right, 22 left, 22 right.
So any of these three,
restrictions are in effect
any of these three
Logan.
runways can go.
Advise on initial contact you have in.
That's weird. You know, things look a little different in the United States, I suppose. But not being given a runway for takeoff is really weird. So currently both runway 22 Romeo and 15 Romeo are active, but we also heard that 22 Lima is also available. What is it asking here? It keeps asking me to open something. Is it the main door? It's probably the main door. It needs electrical power, otherwise it won't open. Yep, there it goes. Of course it needs hydraulic power. So yeah, lots of Amazon packages. Do they put Amazon packages in? That'll be really cool. Oh, there's a UPS. Oh, there it is, Amazon. Oh, this is very cool, man. We're actually taking Amazon packages on this flight. Not all of them are Amazon though. Walmart, UPS. Oh, there's a big Amazon one there. Really cool. This is all scenery, by the way. I didn't set this up. That's very cool. And as you can see, of course, PMDG can't really make this any different. The crates are already inside, so we're just loading for the sake of loading them.
Boston ground. Push back the
It's always cool, but
southeast.
there are limitations. Is this too loud? I think it's too loud. A little less loud, thank you. So we're going to need to talk with the ground crew. There's the intercom. All right. So let's carry on. So again, we don't have a departing runway. We might be given one when we request taxi, so no big deal. Let's go back here for our performance now. We cannot calculate our performance for now because yeah, we don't have the selected runway, which is a bummer, but again, we can live with that. So let's confirm this. Wind is 200 at 19. We saw gusts 30. Outside temperature is 17. And QNH 1005, which coincides with 2968 inches mercury. So yeah, it's really a bummer not having a runway. Let's see if we can. The thing is, if I select one and I start putting in my speeds and weights and all that, if they change it, I'll have to do it again. So might as well just not calculate that for now. Let's go for weight and balance. We're waiting for the cargo to be loaded. So currently is still being loaded, but we already have the weights coming from Simbrief. So we can insert this data.
Ready to taxi to the active.
Runway 3871.
Zero fuel weight.
5 right taxi via Kilo Bravo Lima.
Cruise altitude. Let's go to the OFP here.
Runway 3871.
So our cruising will be flight level 350. Can probably go higher than that, but let's leave it at that. Transition altitude in the United States is 1800. As for reserves, we are looking at the FinRes. It's going to be 30 minutes. What's the reserves here? Does it fill in automatically? Nope, it does not. Let's request performance. Requested. Wow, it's not cooperating now. So let's cost index 5. Alright. Can we request that now? We cannot. Because we don't have a departing runway. That's the problem. You cannot calculate it without knowing which one. I'm gonna jump the gun. So we know it's gonna be either 22 right or 15 right. What's the wind right now? It's so the wind right now is 200. So I would risk it and say 22 right. So let's just select that. So it's going to be Lipsta and 22 right. Alright, now we can make our calculations. The least that could happen is that we get some bogus info. Probably need to activate this, right? So 22 right, right Lipstar, route, activate, execute. Alright. Now let's go to let's request again. No, nothing. Oh, there it is. Now it's requesting. Alright. Just wait a moment for the performance to be sent in, and we'll get the reserves. Performance uplink ready. Let's load. So reserves will be 5.3. Because this is percentage, and I don't have the proper calculator for percentage, and the performance calculator here does not give me percentage. So, so takeoff, calculate. Oh, forgot the runway 22 right for now. All right, so elevation 13 feet. Let's go. What's it? Yeah, that's it. 13. What do you want? Let's start by hand. 1, 3, enter. Can we calculate now? We can. All right, here we go. Performance setup is acceleration height 1,500 feet, flaps 5 and 1 set to 90.5, 90.5. Then we got selected temperature 42 degrees. This is for the derated takeoff. TO1 we're going to set to trim 5.2. We got V1 at 143, VR 144, V2 149, and the reference speed VREF is 152. Then the weight, the tow takeoff weight is 68.5. Alright, let's go for N1 limit. So we are going to select 42 degrees as fragged and set takeoff 1. As for takeoff, we're going to set flaps 5, Kenneth CG 24.0, which sets our trim to 5.23. That's correct. 144, 145, 149. That's pretty good. Alright, so let's go back to the reference and one limit. Oh, the door's closing. I was hearing this weird sound. Take off. Index. Let's go to legs here. Looks good. Set this for legs.
Pushback and engine start approved. Face east. JetBlue 8070.
It's not allowing me to move it because GSX is using that. I'm not going to touch that for a moment. Right, N1 limitation. We got takeoff 1. Set 08 selected. 42 degrees. Alright, looks good. Departing is done. So we're gonna set route copy for route 2. There it is. So we just gonna set that up just in case we need a secondary route. There it is, route 2. No holding required. We got progress. Alright, looks good. I think we're loaded.
Pushback approved. Face southeast.
Pushback and engine start approved.
Oops, not this. Wait, mouse. I think we're loaded. Yep.
Executive 322. Request taxi to the active.
Okay. I think it's good. Hello, Trexie. Welcome.
15 right taxi via Bravo, Lima.
Runway 15 right taxi via Bravo. Lima. Executive 322.
Oh, he just sent a plane to runway 15. I hope it doesn't send me to runway 15. So let's look at the SID. And let's take a look at our first altitude.
JetBlue 8070, request taxi.
From Lipstar.
JetBlue 8070, runway 15 right taxi.
So our initial altitude will be.
Runway 15 right taxi.
Where's Lipstar? Lipstar.
JetBlue 8070.
Oh my, this is a pain in the rear end. Which one is Lipstar? Why? Why? So, any of these is Lipstar 8. We just don't know which altitudes to take first. Either 3000 or 1200 out of runway 22 right. So we're going north. That's for sure. So any of these routes will take us there. So we had 5 different routes, actually 6 different routes. It's just depending on the airplane's clearance. Yeah, runway clearance. We'll set it to the maximum altitude, which is 4,000. The plane will keep constraints, of course, so we'll just set 4,000 feet initial. Alright, let's arm the auto throttle. Let's keep on with the checklist. MCP V2 set to 149 knots. Heading, it depends on the runway really, but should be something like runway 22. So heading 22, let's set runway heading. Not sure if this is the right one, but 215. And altitude set 4,000 feet for the initial. LNAV and VNAV both armed. Set APU on, start on. On, start, on.
JetBlue 8070, contact Boston, Tower 1 tree.
Let's test our oxygen. This is something we don't have on the checklist. You test yours, if you don't mind. This is something... Oh, the APU is coming on. I can barely touch it. Can barely touch it. No, that's not it. There it is. That's... I'm sorry. I can't really reach yours. So, waiting for the APU to come alive, and then we'll set it to Gen. I almost sure we can listen to the APU from the cockpit, but anyway, let's move on. Alright, APU generator available. Set Gen 1, set Gen 2. Let's bleed air into the cabin. Packs are on. APU bleed is on. Pre-flight checklist complete. Alright, let's go for the before start checklist. Ground power, disconnect. It is disconnected. We're just not telling it yet. Here. We can request GSX to push back and start.
All aircraft be advised information Papa now current. Altimeter 2968.
So the door's been closed. Hopefully the stairs will be retracted as well. Are they?
Hello, Captain. We are ready for pushback.
Stairs aren't being retracted. So we need to do this by hand. Ground services, stairs, nope. Ground connections, nope. Door management. Ground maintenance.
Departure checks completed. Bypass pin inserted.
I'm pretty sure there was an option here to bring the stairs up. So if it's not here, it's gonna be in the menu here. Retract. Stairs are being retracted. We got electrical and fuel, it's pretty standard. Air stairs are still deployed there. Just need to wait for them. There they go.
Locking gear.
Alright, ground power disconnected. Chocks. Let's remove the chocks. So we got parking brake, yep. So remove chocks. Alright, everything's going on. Yaw damper. So we need to look at our overhead. Let me turn on track IR now. We're estimating 4-hour flight, but I will use time compression. So it will be much less than that. Just need to go back to pilots. There we go. And again, track IR isn't working. Why is it not working? Now it's working, but what's going on here? Whoa, whoa, where am I? Oh, I'm in the back of the plane? How the heck did that happen? Whoa. That's not good. So why am I...
Brickyard 5643 at gate Alpha 3. Request pushback and engine start.
I'm all the way mid-aircraft.
Boston ground. Pushback approved. Face south.
Pushback
Alright, there we go.
south. Brickyard 5643.
So we are going to save this. Create pilot horizontal. No, let's not use that. Using Cinemax, why not? And let's see, do we need adjustment? Somehow.
Brickyard 4433, gate Bravo 8, request pushback and engine start.
Brickyard 4433, Boston ground. Pushback approved. Face west.
Pushback and engine start approved.
Sorry about that, guys. Apparently, chase plane sometimes gets all nutty. So, alright, so doors are closed. Let's get this to performance. And let's get this one to fly plan. Alright. Now let's see, yaw damper is on. Probe heat set on. It is on. Hydraulic pumps are on. These are the electrical hydraulic pumps. Fuel pumps all to set on. Passenger signs, we don't have any passengers today, but let's turn them all on. Anti-collision lights set to on. Packs left and right are off. Oops. And before start, checklist complete. Alright, let's call it in.
Amazon 78 Foxtrot, request pushback.
Amazon 78 Foxtrot, Boston ground. Pushback and engine start approved. Face southeast.
Southeast.
Approved, face southeast. Amazon 78 Foxtrot.
Brickyard 4433, taxi for departure.
South
4433, runway
east
15 right
is
taxi via Kilo,
nose
Bravo
left,
Lima.
tail right.
15 right taxi via Kilo, Bravo, Lima. Brickyard 4433.
Remove PMDG what? What do we have loaded in? Parking brake off. Does it still have the chocks? Maybe it does. Oh yeah.
Release parking brake, please. All engines clear. Start at will.
Copy, started well. Start one. Ignition on. We got N1. One started. Start two. Ignition set. Oh, it changed the runway. I didn't even notice that. Oh my god. Stand by. This is gonna be a pain. So runway 15 Romeo. Why didn't it give me this in the first place? Alright, active, set active. This is gonna change my performance. We'll do that before we get to the parking spot. takeoff spot, I mean.
Please set parking brakes.
Parking brake set.
Waiting your confirmation for a good engine start.
We got a good engine start.
Cockpit to ground. We have a good engine start. You can disconnect.
Hello, Mirsha. Hello. Sorry, didn't see you there. So, Andrew, Drexy, Mirsha, thank you all for joining. Just waiting for these guys to clear now. So let's take off speeds deleted, of course. Let's go in one limits and let's set the whole performance again.
Unlocking gear.
Brickyard 816, at gate Alpha 10, request pushback.
Alright, now let's...
Boston ground, hold position for traffic.
This will be 42.
Hold position, Brickyard 816.
Brickyard 816,
Tow truck disconnected.
Boston ground,
Bypass
pushback
pin removed.
approved. Face west.
So flaps 5.
Left is clear.
Brickyard
Right is
816.
clear.
Trim is the same. 5.23, yeah. So everything's pretty much the same. Tow truck removed. Let's wait for the bypass pin. And there it is. Let's request taxi to runway 15 Romeo.
Amazon 78 Foxtrot got ready to taxi to the active.
Now this is gonna demand me to open
Amazon
these.
78 Foxtrot, runway 15 right taxi by Kilo Bravo Lima.
Runway 15 right taxi by Kilo Bravo Lima. Amazon 78 Foxtrot.
Oh my god, so complicated. Oof. Look at that. Talk about complication. So we're going through Kilo Bravo Lima. So look, this is Kilo right here, then Bravo, runway 15 Romeo, and where's Lima? So we got Bravo. There's Lima. Oh, Bravo goes all the way. All right, so this is actually pretty standard. All right, let's go. Before taxi checklist, NTIs. What's the temperature outside?
All right, we'll taxi to runway 15 right there.
17 degrees, no need. Auto brake set, RTO set, flaps set, sets flaps 5. Flaps 5 set. Trim set 5.23. Almost there. APU is off. Oops. You have no idea how many times I've heard pilots comment on this. It happens on real life pilots, not just me. So I'm good. Backs left and right set to on. APU bleed set off. Set cruise altitude. Flight level 350. Set isolation valve set to auto. Flight controls. Full deflection left. Oh, sorry. I need to open the synoptics. Full deflection left. Neutral. Full deflection right, neutral. Full pitch up, neutral. Full pitch down, neutral. Full rudder left, neutral. Full rudder right, neutral. Oh, I'm floating away on my chair. Oh, where's the tug doing? Ground equipment has been cleared. Taxi lights are on. Runway turn off lights as required. We're ready to go. Let's go. Parking brake off. Flight controls, yaw damper was switched off when I tripped the wire there. There it goes. We're rolling. We got some light rain. Yeah, there was some actual Amazon packages, no joke. So we're going through, this is Kilo, let's go to Bravo, right there, all the way to runway 15 Romeo. We might need more than just blinkers. So this is Bravo. This is a very striking livery, by the way. And this is the dad. Look at that. That was an American Eagle on my 6. Complaining about the fact this prime air guy was just stalled on the runway, on the taxiway. My favorite camera from chase plane. I need to really dive in with chase plane on each aircraft I fly with, because apparently chase plane's default cameras are really sucky. But look at that, he's making competition. Hey bozo, don't overtake me. This ain't F1. Oh, there's Spirit Airlines right there. Famous airline. Look at that. Betsy's not having fun today. Maybe I should be on the outside, but they did tell me to go to Bravo. Or maybe I'm not in Bravo. Oh, this is Charlie. Ah, god damn it. I'll carry on with Charlie. These planes are overtaking me like crazy. All Embraers. Have you noticed? All Embraer jets. Alright, this ain't the competition. Let's not make this worse than it already is.
Delta 2461 at gate 21. Request pushback and engine start.
Delta 2461, Boston ground. Pushback approved, face south.
Pushback approved, face south. Delta 2461.
Well, I do need to turn here though.
All aircraft, the advice information Quebec now current. Altimeter 2967.
Because I won't be able to turn to the runway. Alright, we'll go back behind this guy here. I hope the guy behind us brakes. Don't do this in real life, guys. Or in traffic.
Spirit wing 3953, runway 15 right taxi via Charlie, Bravo, the map.
So we got system 1 set. We got it set for above. TARA.
Contact Boston Tower 132.225.
And we got traffic. We're also gonna set up our weather radar. So let's set WNT. Set weather.
Air Canada 50.
And you got terrain.
Pushback approved. Face southwest.
Sorry about swerving all over. Yeah, I need to align this camera more properly. This is the right position. Oops, sorry, my bad.
Delta 210-132.225 at Amazon 78 Foxtrot, take care.
So, passenger, what the heck? Safe position. Alright, let's hold on the visual holding point here. Let's go for the before takeoff checklist here. Parking brake set, auto throttle set, arm. Done. Set terrain and weather display, just did. Landing lights, position lights, strobe and steady, taxi lights off. Transponder TARA and clock will be started. Alright, let's request it.
Runway 15 right.
5709, tower. Number 2 for departure.
Hold code number 2, Brickyard 5709.
And we're right on where we want to be.
Foxtrot, ready to go. Runway 15 right.
Amazon 78 Foxtrot, hold short of 15 right. Departing
I'll take a short.
Affirmative, hold short of 15 right with Amazon 78 Foxtrot.
Yeah, they're departing.
Amazon 78 Foxtrot, runway 15 right, line up and wait.
Line up and wait.
And wait, runway 15 right, Amazon 78 Foxtrot.
Amazon 78 Foxtrot, Boston Tower, wind 205 at 15, this is 28 and out to test, runway 15 right, cleared for takeoff.
Runway 15 right, and altitude test cleared for takeoff, Amazon 78 Foxtrot.
Runway 3871, contact Boston, departure. Contact Boston, departure. Runway 3871, have a good afternoon.
Look at the traffic here.
Brickyard 5709, ready to go. Runway 15 right.
Brickyard 5709, number 2 for departure. Hold short of 15 right.
It's called Prestoga.
For traffic, Brickyard 5709.
Brickyard 4433,
Run the clock. Where's the clock? Clock. There it is. 80 knots, check. Ooh, that's a big wind crossing from the right side. Rotate. Ooh, positive rate. Gear up. There's a big storm in here. Oh, come on. Come on. Spin check, flaps 1. Set autopilot 1. A, not 1. Flaps up.
Amazon 78 Foxtrot, Boston departure. Radar contact. Fly maintain 17,000.
Climb maintain 17,000, Amazon 78 Foxtrot.
Boston departure, Brickyard 5709, hotel 800.
And we're breaking through.
Boston departure. Radar contact. Climb maintain 15,000.
After takeoff checklist, positive rate of climb, gear was up. Auto brake off. Runway turn off lights off. Flaps retract on schedule. Autopilot engaged. After takeoff checklist complete. Now for the climb checklist, altimeter set standard above transition. Let's not do that just yet, because it's not transition. Oh my god, this is... We got some very heavy tailwind right there, 53 knots. It's not even, it's sideways. It's bringing, oh, look at this cloud layer, beautiful, man. You see that, Betsy? She's concentrated, she's a professional. She's a pro. I'm still offset. I need to realign this camera properly. Stand by.
Boston departure, Brickyard 5643. Good afternoon, 1,500 feet.
There you go. I'm not even using the heads-up display. Did I save that? I didn't save that.
6,000 feet. Brickyard 5643.
Yeah, I did not save that. Save. Now it's safe. I said I wasn't using the HUD, but I can use it for you guys, for your viewing pleasure. Can actually help me align this camera correctly. Stand by. Well, FS Labs, what the heck? Alright. That's it. Now safe. Alright, this is the heads-up display. Basically, it's replicating what my PFD shows. It's built for IMC, so instrument weather, instrument meteorological conditions. It's not really supposed to be used regularly, and not all airlines will have it, so this is like a very expensive option. Certainly not Primair, certainly not Ryanair will have this. Passing 10,000 feet, external lights off. And we don't have anybody in the back, but we could set our fasten seat belts off. So as you can see here, the flight director is this little ball, little circle within another circle, so a concentric circle if you want. And the idea is you need to maintain your little birdie, so the bigger circle within above, well, keep the little circle inside the big circle. It's actually pretty straightforward, and I like using it, but it's just not something that it's used regularly. So we are flying to Sean and then Lebsta, and then we have a discontinuity. So we need to go direct to Taffy, and I think I'm just gonna do that and execute. Discontinuities are set on the FMC just in case you need to. Oh my god, I need to fly the 737 more often because I keep forgetting stuff. So like I was saying, discontinuities are set in these flight plans just in case you are required to have, where are the legs? You know, if you're required to have radar vectors for departure, which doesn't seem to be the case here, but we'll see. Oh, you're right. Sorry. Oh, thank you, Trexie. I completely forgot about that. Stand by. I'm going to set that up. It's real quick. Sorry about that, guys. Almost there. Should be working now. Sorry about that, and thank you, Drexy. If it isn't for you guys, I would never have noticed. So flight level 350, let's go. When I press VNAV, it's just to arm it first and then just accept the new altitude. As you can see, we're now following the little ball, the little circle. And as you can see, as the plane bobbles, so does your head and so does the perspective. So this is, what you have here is just a collimated mirror, really. This is just a collimated mirror, just like one you could have at home. The only difference is that this one is transparent. And over here, this is the projector. And as you can see, there's you can't see, but in a real life aircraft you would be able to see the projection inside, projecting towards this. So it's a somehow, well, let's set standard altitude, set and cross-checked. Alright, climb checklist, altimeter set standard, passing 10,000 feet, landing lights off, seatbelt signs off. So, we're good to go. Let's close this. Sorry about that. I'm going to turn off my track IR now, so that you guys don't have to see my head bobbling all over. There. Alright, this is good enough. Now I can move with the mouse. Alright, so we have passed our SID. So let's go back to the main page. There it is. This is our flight for tonight. And I think we'll still be landing with daylight in Nook. Not sure. It's dusky, so, well, the sun is up. Well, yeah, we're still gonna get the sun there. So we are using UTC time, so I don't really know what time it is in Boston or Nook, but I think we are gonna land with daylight. That's the advantage of flying in the United States, because I'm in Europe, and when it's nighttime, which is basically whenever I can fly, most likely it will be daytime in the US, so we could have a daylight flight. So yeah. So right now we are climbing to our altitude, cruise altitude of flight level 350. So far it's been really straightforward. I just had a little slight issue taking off with crosswind. And it was weird because the arrow was pointing from my right, but I felt the plane pushing to the right, which doesn't make sense. That will only happen if I have wind coming from the left side, right? I don't know what happened there, but it went under control, no big deal. We also had a lot of weather coming out, which wasn't predicted. I didn't see any weather in the METAR, no rain or whatsoever. So all of a sudden started. We had a 10 static mile visibility. Yeah, Drexy, I'm planning to go through from Greenland to Iceland, and then from Iceland back to Europe. Well, Iceland is in Europe. What I mean is coming back to the to known grounds in Europe. Maybe go through Dublin, and then we'll see. So probably Iceland, then Dublin, or just direct to Dublin. We'll see. It all depends on how good the weather will be out of Nook. Because last time I flew, well, one of the last times I flew in and out of Nook, there was really rough weather. And there was a time there that I couldn't even fly. It would be out of limits. So, and I took the A350, go figure. There is no proper A330 currently. There is an A330 Neo that's freeware, it's more or less. But there's no proper A330, so the only airplane that flies there now, big plane, aside from the ATRs and the Twin Otters and all those small planes, the big planes right now flying there are the A330s from Air Greenland. So this flight I'm doing is completely unscheduled. There's no such thing as a prime air flight to Nook. I'm just doing this for fun. So if Air Greenland is the only airline really operating Nook, I would require an A330 because that's the plane they used to fly all over Europe. Does it? Jet time? I need to look into that. I didn't see that. I actually. Oh, hello, MC. Welcome. I didn't see that. Sorry, buddy. How are you? I was in the Greenland airports page, and the only airline I saw taking off and landing to or from Nook was Air Greenland. But maybe the schedules are winter schedules or something. Yes, I've seen SAS A320s, but I think SAS A320s only fly there during the summer. But anyway, it doesn't matter. I can fly the SAS out of Nuuk to Copenhagen. That will be a nice flight as well. It's not what I was looking to, but I can do that. Oh. So, Mirsha, Boston from Copenhagen. I would like to have done that flight from Boston to Copenhagen, and I would definitely pick SAS, maybe take the A350, but I really want to go back to Nuuk. It's one of those airfields that I just love to fly to in and out, really. It's a really cool airport. Guys, I'm sorry I've not been following the chat closely. You saw that I was a bit busy. Look at that, we got an awesome tailwind, 72 knots tailwind. Look at that, it's gonna give us what, 505 ground speed, 500 knots ground speed. How about that? Amazing. So this means that we can actually cut off some time from our flight schedule, even before I start accelerating time. So we're getting some weather up ahead. So let's see, what's our ETA here? Alright, it's telling us that we'll be arriving at midnight 24, 0024. It's currently 21:27. I'm going to time accelerate. So this will probably be a little shorter than I anticipated, which is good. So when I compress time up to 4 times, this would be like a half an hour flight, or maybe, well, less than an hour flight, 45 minutes flight. So with this tailwind, maybe we can shorten that even further, maybe half an hour flight. That will be good. Now here's the thing, when I left, the METARs were actually favorable. Oh, by the way, we can look at Boston METAR here. You can see that oh, this changed. Now there's rain. So the first METAR we read here, we just had some gusts 30, and we had some nice visibility. Now it's 6 static miles. It used to be 10 static miles, and it started raining. So that's a bummer. But we got out of Dodge. No big deal. As for Nuuk, peace and quiet. Look at that. Except for the negative temperatures, but you know, it's Greenland. So right now, this is where we are. We're still flying in the United States. Then we'll cross Canada for a moment, and then North Atlantic, and then Nuuk. Now let's prep our flight into Nuuk. We are probably going to get radar vectors, because Nuuk doesn't really have an approach sequence set up. You see here we go out of Gulf Hotel direct to runway 04. This is an estimate, but runway 04 is basically the most, if not the only active runway. Most of the times, that's always runway 04. So we're not going to be able to get any stars for Nuuk, and we can actually observe that when we go here to the arrival, and you see there's no stars. It's always radar vectors. So I'm going to pick ILS 04, ILS Zulu. We just need a transition, so let's go into our charts again. Let's go for arrival. Let's get our approach. So runway 04. There it is. So we are going for the Zulu. So we're going to set this up for 04. And this is the minimums. So the minimums for these type Bravo aircraft. So with full ILS, straight in landing. So the minimums will be for the Bravo type. Well, let's go for the Alpha type. We're going to get 500 feet. That's good enough. And So Barrow 500. This takes an awful lot of time to rotate. $570, $574, coming up on top of climb, for $581. I really hate this knob to be, oh, see, it just jumped all the way to 540. Really hate this knob. This should be just a rotating knob, period. Look at that, it jumps all over. It's very hard to get that desired altitude. Come on. Why does it do that? 403. Three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 98, 99, 500, yay! I'm looking here, by the way, just in case you guys were wondering what I was looking at. Alright, so, yeah, we got 500 for Alpha. It's standard. As for the approach, so basically we can get one of these 3 points. I assume we're going to get Koenig. These are for flights coming from the east, and this is from flights coming from the west. Since we're coming from the south, I think we're going to get Koenig. But again, this could change. Execute. Reset MCP altitude for what? Oh, it wants 370, but we were just clear for 370. 350, I mean. And that's what's on our flight plan. Why does it want 370? 350. Alright, let's go here to our performance. Cruise 350. Alright. As for the descent, we can get the forecast. Transition will be flight level 080. Let's request descent winds. We're going to need to update this page frequently as we go forth. Takes some time to get winds aloft. We're going to land with flaps 30 for sure, and our VREF will be 149, so we got winds. Forecast. Load. And there it is. Execute. Winds look very mild for that region, but... And look at that, our tailwind is now 89 knots. Nice. Very nice. We can take this terrain off now and set back to weather. Also get this data. Very nice. So yeah, let's engage time compression now. I think we're good. So we're going up to 4 times time compression on. The sim will decide, well, the plane will decide at which speed it should go. So there it goes, 4 times time compression. This plane does not have the jump ahead feature we used in the last few flights with U340 and with the Flight Sim Labs A340-600 from Aerosoft and Tulis, as well as the FS Labs A321neo. They both have this jump ahead feature that allows us to jump to a certain steer point or waypoint. That's pretty good. It allows us to save a lot of time. But given the circumstances, when I have to make shorter flights, I pick these planes, smaller planes. Unfortunately, the MD-11 from TFDI does not have.
Contact Boston Center 124.
Let's go to Boston Center.
Center on 124.25, Amazon 78.
It's really weird. We just left a very busy airport and we got no traffic right now.
Amazon 78 Foxtrot, Boston Center, copy.
By contrast, in Europe, we're always getting these flights around us. So, what plane am I looking forward in 2026? Definitely the 737 MAX 8. It's in my hangar. I don't fly it. iFly does not update the plane. It has a lot of bugs, a lot of small issues, a lot of missing features. I'm really looking forward to that. Also looking forward for the Quality Wing 757. That's one of my favorite airplanes. Yeah, Drexy will be quiet. I was just expecting traffic during cruise to be a bit more populated, that's all. I'm also looking forward for... Man, why isn't it... Why is it 349 or not 350 as it should? That was on. It's climbing now. So the other plane I'm looking for is the Build's L1011, the famous TriStar. And the other one is already released. So the other one would be the Aerosoft Tolis A340-600. It's already out there. Amazing plane. You've seen me flying it. Still needs some work in terms of third-party implementation, mostly. Other than that, it's just a crazy plane to fly. Really big. I mean, huge plane. The second longest plane ever. Yeah. All of them operated by Air Greenland Drexy. So we are making this unscheduled flight there for the sake of fun, but this plane would never fly there for sure. Well, maybe an offshoot cargo flight, maybe, because you know, Nook is very isolated. So if you don't fly there often with cargo supplies, I don't think that the entire population can survive. There was a way to hide this paint, wasn't there? Oh, it's right here. Alright, so this is our flight now. You can see the unnatural speed right now. Let's go outside and have a look. Completely forgot about this. Those strobes. That's why we have. That's why we have. Is my track IR working? Yep, it is. This is why we have co-pilots. This kind of stuff, you would never forget it, right? Nah, that's much better. So we are in Moncton, that's Canada. Then we're going through the Quebec airspace. So lots of different air traffic control here.
Amazon 78, Foxtrot, Moncton Center, identified.
Oh, really? United. I could have picked United, really. But I thought the cargo flight would be more proper for the winter. On ports, yeah, by sea, but if they can get stuff by air, like Amazon packages, I think it's preferable. Although I don't think Amazon would make this flight for Greenland, especially now with all the political stuff around it.
Amazon 78 Foxtrot, contact Montreal Center 134.65.
Centre on 134.65, Amazon 78 Foxtrot. Montreal Centre, Amazon 78 Foxtrot, flight level 349er.
Amazon 78 Foxtrot, Montreal Center, radar contact.
Oh, did you, Richard? How was it? Yeah, the population of Greenland is very low. That's why someone wanted to invade it, if you catch my meaning. The news is pretty good now, Richard. They did a lot of good work with it. It's now really, really good. Have you seen my tailwind in this flight? Check it out. Oh, look at that. I'm now getting 75 knots tailwind. central pumps are expent. Just relying on wing tanks now. Yeah, I'm joking, Richard. Of course, let's not dive into that, because that was he wanted to buy it. All right. So he didn't want to invade it. He wanted to buy it. All right. So that's settled. Still going through Canada.
Foxtrot, you're on course. Clear direct of me, with no navigation.
Broker clear direct of B. Whistle navigation.
We are going direct to DFB. So this is a problem with. So you see here we're going directly to DFB. This is a problem with Beyond ATC when it flies close to the North Pole. For some reason it keeps saying that you're off course. I've done this flight a few times to Nook, and every time I had this message coming in. So currently we got 81 knots tailwind, not direct tailwind. We were having 70 plus knots tailwind coming out of Boston, but not anymore. But yeah. So we're about to enter the state of Newfoundland and Labrador. This is Quebec, Ontario, Manitoba, oh my god, Saskatchewan? Did I say that right? Sorry, Canadians. There's a beautiful story of an island. I think this is it. This is where I'm pointing at. Let me zoom in. I think this is it. There's an island in the south of Canada, southeast of Canada. It's called Sable Island. Let's see if we can zoom in. Is this Sable Island? The story of Sable Island is pretty intriguing. Oh. Let's see, is this Sable? Yep, this is Sable. Alright. So, you see this? Sable Island. There's a VOR there. That's crazy. So this is Sable Island. As you can see, it's not much of an island. It's just a little whiff of land. In total, this is about 25 miles. No more than that. And that's in length. In width, it's about 5 miles. So less than 5 miles. Come on. 25 miles in land. Because this is not just all of this is in land. This is wrongly depicted. You guys can Google what Sable Island looks like in real life. Do you know what lives here? Aside from sea lions, or I think it's sea lions, there's a huge population of wild horses. Now the story is, these wild horses were left here. Well, the first wild horses were left here by colonizers that were expelled from the mainland. I think they were like a religious sect or something. I don't really read that part correctly. I do know that a lot of people were expelled from Canada and they came to live here, not permanently, temporarily. And of course they brought their horses in their boats. But when they left elsewhere, who knows, they left the horses. And now a huge population of wild horses lives here, and it's what's funny about it is that they completely adapted to living here. They actually eat seaweed as a complement for their diet. And yeah, it looks like a strand of hair, but it's actually pretty big, I suppose. Not enough to, you know, get a bunch of colonizers to live here, but still, they only stood here for a while before they were shipped back elsewhere. And what's crazy is that these horses are unique. They're very different from the mainland horses. They actually grow a mane, like furry hair, that other horses don't really do, and they shed that hair during the summer when it's hot. That's pretty fun. It's a story I read about today. So yeah, Sable Island. One day I'll get there. Maybe there won't be any horses in Flight Simulator, but still, quite a fun flight, I suppose. nightfall is coming. You can see the wind coefficient there. You saw that. The jet trails were sideways. So we're flying over some snowy terrain now. So we're getting close to the North Pole. North Korea. There isn't really much to do in North Korea, to be honest. I don't think there's any proper airfields in North Korea anyway. But if you're asking me in real life, I wouldn't mind going to North Korea in real life, to be honest. Just for the sake of seeing something so different, right? Oh yeah. South Korea, Japan, all these nations are really a question mark for me. They look very different. I wouldn't mind going there. I'm just saying that it would be quite a discovery to fly there. Alright, so I'm going to decelerate time now because I want to prep stuff for the descent. We're still far away. I'll accelerate time again in a moment. I just want to prep things. Alright, so let's go to our Nook charts for runway, hopefully our approach runway for today, which will be Zulu runway 04. So this is going to be a very, I wouldn't say shallow, but well, steep if you consider it's a greater angle. Usually glide slope angles are at 3 degrees. This will be a 3.2 degree descent rate, so a little steeper than usual. If you guys don't know, Nook is an elevated airfield, so there's nothing beneath. All of a sudden there's a huge cliff, and then a plateau, and then the runway. So there isn't much here for and the same thing happens on the other side, so there isn't much happening in terms of safety in case of a missed approach. So we always go into the air. The approach itself, it's pretty standard. We have a maximum airspeed of 210. We don't intend to remain on 210 knots for a moment. Oh, Starbucks. I think that the DMZ now is more of a circus than an actual demilitarized zone, to be honest. There's a lot of done for the tourists. Now let's consider here the missed approach. It's something we don't usually read, but for Nook we do have to, because there is no ATC there to guide us. There is a tower there, but it's not. It's an AFIS, so their job is not really to direct traffic. It's just to give you weather information. So in case of missed approach, climb on course 042, so runway heading, to 2,000 feet, then a left turn at max 210 knots. So remember, that's the maximum for this entire area is 210 knots. Direct to Cowrie, this one right here, and join the holding above 3,000 feet, at or above 3,000 feet. Then refer to minimums for missed approach. And minimums for missed approach is really the key here, so we really need to go around if things aren't stable. Let's hope that we don't get there. There are a number of steer points around here, but as you can see, Abano, Numba, Konik, they all have their altitude restrictions here. So it's a really cool thing to see. And you can see here that Konik you need to be at 4,800 feet and descending, and you need to descend to 3,200 feet. Most likely this will be our approach here. And when we reach GH4041, which is GH, that's the VOR, at 04 indicated, 04 DME, we need to start descend. We need to be at 3,500 feet. So we need to remain at that altitude. Then we'll start descending to 2,500 feet. Oh, I'm sorry. At GA, yeah, that's right. I was reading it right. At GH 04 Foxtrot, then we need to be at. Actually, that's wrong. That's not the DME. So 11.6 DME at GH 04 India. That's the initial, and then GH04 Foxtrot, that's the final. At 6.6 nautical miles, we need to be at 2,500 feet to intercept the ILS. If any of that fails, our MDA will only allow us to reach this point here, more or less, and go around. And then on final, after the middle marker, we have a second go-around decision. But if we are below minimums, then it's always a go-around. And it's very important we take notice that there is a lot of terrain around the airfield. So this is Nook right here. And as you can see, there are a lot of mountains here. So it's never an option to go around to the right side. And we need to have our terrain depiction ready when we get to our approach phase. Really interesting airfield, really looking forward to it. And nighttime has fallen. Alright, so we got everything prepped. I just need to come down here and check my descent stuff. So, as well as our arrival, it's set ILS 04. Let's hope this is the one we get. And of course we need to know which one of these we'll be getting. So I'm going to select Koenig for now and hope it's the one we do get. As you can see, we only have flight plan up until GH, Gulf Hotel, and then there's a discontinuity. This is by design, so we can get radar vectors all the way to either one of these points if we do get 04. If not, we can take a good look here at the other options. So it's the other way around. It's runway 22. Let's select the Zulu one just for the sake of prepping, just in case we need it. So pretty much the same procedure, but watch this side here. We have mountains and we need to strictly remain at these altitudes, because the peak here is at 3,000 feet and we need to be at 5,400 and then descend to 4,400. Never descend above these marks or you will be in big trouble. It's always good to look at the charts So I would prefer to go to 04, but if not, this is the procedure. It will probably have the same minimums. Actually, no, they're lower, so 460 feet. But let's hope we get 04. If not, we're going to have to insert all this data into the RFMC. We'll see. And there, I didn't make a mistake. I did say FMC and not CDU. Because this is a flight management computer. The CDU is the unit, but it most likely is never referred to as CDU. It's always FMU, Flight Management Unit, or FMC, Flight Management Computer. Yeah, let's see. Forecast is not bad, but apparently it's cloudy, so we might get a dark approach. Where? Ah, it's right here. So let's refresh this. So still the same. We got winds 350 at 11, not bad. So it's favoring 04 currently, but we'll see. This is the distance, 999. It's more or less 10 standard miles. It's just a way to say it's clear. Few clouds at 3,500, and then temperature -12, midpoint 19er, QNH 1015. So it is negative temperature down there. How's our tailwind? Whoa, look at that. How about that? 140 knots, and that's not real tailwind, it's actually cross. So our plane is literally going sideways. You can see this is our true heading, and this is our track. So our nose is pointing there, but our heading is towards 053, but our nose is pointing left. Look at that. And we can see that on the outside view, I'll bet. Let's see if we can get a better angle. Well, we can't really notice it because I don't have a faraway camera, but maybe we could use this one and move away. Whoa, sorry about that. Yep, this plane does not like my chase plane inputs.
I show you at flight level 360.
Yeah, let's go down.
Descend to flight level 350.
Yeah, I already had this problem with other planes, so apparently you can't really use chase plane camera movements because planes always assume you're trying to fly them. It's like I'm pressing the yoke. Yeah. Sorry guys. Sorry. So the camera movement is activated by Shift WASD on chase plane, so that plane I use for cameras. And the flight controls also use WASD. Of course I can deactivate that, but I actually use WASD sometimes when I don't want to use my joystick, so I don't want to reprogram that. The problem with that is that every time I try to move the camera with chase plane, I'm also moving the yoke, and that's what happened just there. I was moving the camera away, but I didn't notice I was also pitching the plane up. Sorry. It's a matter of programming, really. Let's go back to VNAV. So if you want to increase your cruise speed, you have two options. Number one, you can alter your cost index. So you can come here to your performance, and you can actually change this number. So currently it's at 5, and there's a coefficient. You need to calculate it, but let's say if you want to increase to 100, you will get a much faster cruise speed. Another way is to set speed and then set, sorry, yeah, I think you need to go flight level. Yeah, you need to go to flight level change, then speed. So what you can do now is increase your Mach speed. There are tables for this, and you shouldn't do this by winging it, but yeah, you can increase your Mach speed. What does this give you? Well, faster times for arrival, but it will also mean that you will consume more fuel. And so this needs to be a conscious decision by the crew. It's best to leave it with VNAV because that's the plane calculating its ideal speed, and the plane will always calculate that via the cost index. So either your company gives you a higher cost index and you can use that for a higher cruise speed, but that will also mean that you'll spend more fuel, or you can just ham-fist it with Mach speed. Rule of thumb: always refer to your flight plan, because sometimes you want to get that there faster. Maybe you can eat something like 10 minutes into your flight, but at what cost? You might get there below minimum fuel for alternate, for example, and you'll be counting your pounds. Let's not do that. Maybe not today. Alright, I said I was going to time accelerate it, and that's exactly what I'm going to do now. Back to 4 times speed compression. We are more or less halfway to the entire flight, by the way, in terms of duration. So it's 2 hours since we took off. The duration should be around 4 hours. Not in real time, in sim time. Oh, thank you, Richard. Yeah, I think the FS Labs is now currently a great plane. And there's news in the horizon, because FS Labs is bringing the A320neo soon. And when I say soon, I use that word very carefully. It's gonna be somewhere this year, not sure when. Phoenix is also about to bring out their A320 and A321neo, so I don't know. I think I'll need to pick one of them. I can't have 2 similar planes in the hangar. To be honest, I think I'm gonna wait and see. I'm not gonna jump the gun this time. I jumped the gun with, I don't know, the 350 from Mini Builds, and I regret it profoundly because the plane was so bugged that I couldn't fly it straight. The same thing almost happened with the 340-600, but I think they learned the lesson. Aerosoft and Tolis, they learned the lesson by looking at what others did and failed. So they did a pretty good job, considering that it was Tolis' first plane in MFS. So kudos to Tolis, they did an excellent job. Their airplane is very intricate. I actually have been talking, I talked to them with them about a few items, and they're very specific. Nothing in that plane is by chance. They didn't take chances. They did very specific stuff, like the colors. Like I commented on that. I said these colors look a little off. No, that's intentional. It's what they wanted to model. All right, we're going to 04. Acknowledge. We still ways off from our top of descent. So our top of descent is whoa, it's about 100 plus miles.
Airport landing runway 04.
There is no A310 on the MFS 20.
Amazon 78 Foxtrot, descend to flight level 240.
Send to flight level 240, Amazon 78 Foxtrot.
Yeah, we're gonna need to override this now. Stand by, give me a moment, I'll talk in a moment. Let me just set this up. 240. Remove time. Yeah, we're still ways off, but they're telling me to descend. I'm not going to waste my time second guessing them. So flight level 240, let's go vertical speed. Let's start our shallow descent for that particular altitude, maybe 700 feet or so. There is no A310 for the FS24. I don't think there's an A310 for 2020 either. In fact, the last 310 that I remember existing was from a Russian company for FSX. Since then I've not heard, I don't mean there isn't, I'm just saying I've not heard of a 310, of a proper 310. Maybe there is, I've just never seen it. I know there's an Inibuilds, I think it's Inibuilds, isn't it? I think there's an Inibuilds free aircraft for 2020, I think, or 2024, I'm not sure. But that's a free aircraft. You can expect much from there. And I think it's a 310. I'm not even sure if it's a 310 or a 300. There is no paid full sim A310 that I'm aware of. I mean, paid in terms of a third party add-on with study level design. I have the Drexy, I have the Phoenix A320 currently. It's an excellent plane. In fact, if not taking this today, I'll be taking the 320.
Expect further clearance closer to destination.
Alright.
Roger, all clear direct Nuga. Amazon 78 Foxtrot, speak to you in a bit.
So we're getting directly some vectors towards ILS 04, which I believe will take that transition via, what's it called? Koenig. Seems logical, since we're getting the direct approach. So in a moment we might start getting radar vectors, so all this programming I've done here will be probably in vain. We'll see. Yeah, I think it is Inibuilds that made it, Richard, but I think it's one of those default planes that comes with flight sim. For example, the Inibuilds also did the A320neo and the A330-200, so the A330 CEO. So they're both from Inibuilds, and they're both default aircraft, and they suck. There's no better word for them. They suck. It's not up to par. If you really want highly developed study level aircraft, you need to pay some money. If you're expecting the default aircraft to fulfill that role, you're gonna have a bad time. I assure you that. Oh, we cannot. Yeah, we cannot. We need to check target altitude. We cannot descend with VNAV. We need to descend with speed, because currently we are overriding VNAV. Look at that, side wind, 140 knots, now 139. Yes, the 310 was the workhorse for TAP Portugal back in the day. It's actually my first ever flight on an airplane was on a 310. I was very young. It was, I wouldn't say the plane was brand new, but it was fairly recent, the 310 for TAP Portugal. And I really wanted to fly the 737, but at last minute they changed the plane, and I was devastated. But I don't regret it. I liked flying the 310, but nowadays I would give anything to fly the 310. But back in the day I was just a kid, and I was a Boeing fanboy, to be honest, for a long time. I really loved Boeing. I still do. The 737-400 is the plane the most I flew the most. So I remember the planes correctly. I flew the 737 Dream Fleet 737-400. I think I have thousands of flight hours on that plane. I'm not joking. I was flying it daily, really. It's almost like a captain in a real life airline. Why am I not descending now? Come on. And I was very good at it, to be honest. I mean, it's an oldie, the 737-400, but it already had a lot of automations. For example, it had a PFD and an ND. It wasn't as big as these. It was a smaller PFD and a smaller ND. The ND wasn't as detailed. The PFD was also not as detailed. The autopilot was a little simpler, but still the same. I mean, the MCP, this mode control panel here, is pretty much the same. There was no electronic ACUS. There was a digital analog ACUS, so there were the engine data. There was no flight controls, nothing like that. The FMC was very rudimentary. It was already pretty good for the time, and everything else about the plane was just similar. Even the overhead was similar. We did have, I believe we did, no, I was going to say we had the two buzz gauges, but we did not. You know, it was already cut out like this. So this is inherited from the early 200 series. And Boeing really did their job saying, well, pilots will need cross-training between generations, so let's not invent anything. It's Lisbon Airport. Lisbon Airport in Portugal. That's my home airport, and the one I flew in and out from most of the time. I've been to other Portuguese airports, but Lisbon is pretty much my airport. I know it from the inside out, and I'm not talking about just flying in and out. I'm talking about the passengers, the passenger terminal, and the VIP lounge for TAP Portugal, which I absolutely loved when I was flying in and out. I always tried to sneak in. I did have business class, so I was entitled, but when I was not flying TAP Portugal, I always tried to go in anyway. It's not like I had privilege. I just tried, and I managed to get in there twice without flying TAP. All with connections, you know. But that was a long time ago. I'm pretty sure they won't allow that today. TAP Portugal lounges was actually pretty good. They always had the daily newspapers. They always had this like buffet. It was a really good buffet. There was even caviar back when I flew in business class. I don't like caviar, but I appreciate the fact they had it there. It was shared with the Star Alliance members, not just TAP Portugal, but it was a pretty good lounge. Nowadays I see those guys. It's not just good for connections. It's actually not good for connections, actually, Drexy. It's a very chaotic airport for connections. You picked the wrong airport for that, Drexy. Lisbon is great for arrivals. It has a pretty good flow out of the airplanes into the arrival section, getting your bags and then going out for your relatives or your friends. The welcoming section, if you want. It's the departures aren't that good. I think the departures and the duty-free area is a little clustered now. It's outdated. But for connections, going inside the airport, within the airport, to go out of a gate to another one, it's crazy. It's not that big, so that's good. It's not as big as, like, say, Barajas in Madrid. I almost died trying to reach a different gate with 1 hour space. Never do that in Barajas. Never do that in Schiphol, Amsterdam. That airport is absolutely giant. It's a giant airport. When I once flew to Amsterdam, most of the times the taxis were long, like 30-minute taxis. But one day I went there, it was a 1-hour taxi. I was so damn tired of that flight. I just wanted to get out. Schiphol is pretty big. Lisbon is not that big, but it's chaotic because the terminals, they do connect between terminals, but the terminals are different buildings, and I don't know how it is today because I've not been flying for quite a while now in Lisbon, but back in the day it was very chaotic for connections. And if you had any flights, let's say if you wanted to fly to the United States and you came from another country in Europe, for example, the international gates, so there's Schengen space, so flights within Europe, if you want to, let's say you want to go to, there's no such connection, sorry Drexy, you can't go to the Azores connecting through Lisbon unless you fly from outside. Okay, so let's take that example. Let's say you come from the UK and you land at Lisbon. The UK is non-Schengen airspace, so you need to go through customs. If you go through customs out of Manchester and you land at Lisbon, the path to go out of the plane into customs and then out of customs into your connection flight is a pain in the rear end in Lisbon. Again, it's not a big airport, so you won't spend time going around, and the orientation is good, so you just need to read the plaques. But still, it could be so much better. And I really hope the new airport they're building for Lisbon in the near future will take that into account. Of course it will. It's going to be a modern airport. You see, this airport's been expanded several times, and every time they build a new building or they refurbished an older building, they didn't take passenger flow into account. So whenever there's a problem in customs, for example, that entire area fills up really fast. So imagine flights coming from Brazil, from Africa, from the United States, from even England. Everybody needs to go through customs all at once, and it's a real pain in the rear end when things like that happen. So we are descending now, so we're just going to activate this. We're still above optimum descent. Well, it depends, Drexy. If you want to leave, if you want to go out of airside, so there's one thing to do when you have a stay. So let's say you need to stay for 17 hours in Lisbon for your connection flight, for example. There's a difference between you, a UK citizen, entering our country. You need to go through customs. And then if you want to leave the country, if you want to leave the airport, I mean, you're going to have to go through customs and get all that treated, blah, 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 and then you get out. And then you need to come in. You have to go through customs again because you're a foreign citizen and you're not in Schengen. You're not in a Schengen country. So non-Schengen countries, that's where the problems reside. Again, the airport is not big. It's not a matter of size. It's a matter of confusion, and the customs area right now is a cluster. There are huge problems with. There's been a change in the way that in the people that actually do the customs job. So the border people, border police, and it's not been fun. There's a lot of people complaining about that. So no moon. We still have the sun going down, but no moon just tonight. Again, this is our Boeing 737 800 series. This is the BCF, Boeing conversion freighter. This is a freighter aircraft. We're transporting prime air. You can see here the nice Amazon logo. We're transporting Amazon packages to Nook in Greenland. Not long now. I'm sorry, it's way too dark to see anything outside, so let's go back inside. But there's no moon, so that's the reason why. Alright, so we're still going through mid-Atlantic. I told you the flight was still not... Don't get fooled with the progress bar on top. We still have some distance to go. How's Betsy? How are you, Betsy? Want to say hi to the gentleman? Huh? Let's get some light here on the back. Maybe you like... Wow, look at that. You did your hair? Looks cool, man. I mean, girl. There. I'm always looking after you. Yeah, alright, much better now. I think you're more comfy like that, right? What do you say? Are we getting dinner tonight in Greenland or what? She hates my guts. Let me turn off the... She does hate my guts. There's nothing really to see back here. I'm not touching the yoke, am I? No. Let's put this one back up. Alright, as it should. So there's not much to see here in the back. There's only our... Oh, look at that. There's no smoking sign. So these are the jump seats for the crew. Most likely a loadmaster will be coming on board. This is the access to the cargo compartment. This is just a door that opens up for the cargo area. This is our door, main door controls to unlock it and open. Let's not do that right now. We need hydraulic power to make this work, by the way. And this is our little galley. Not much of a galley, is it? It's just 2 refrigerators or heating sources, ovens if you want, and 2 coffee makers. Can't have enough coffee for any flight, even cargo flights. So we can't really see much because these lights are not really properly modeled. They should illuminate this entire area. But anyway, I believe these are cameras here. There's one, there's the other one. Can barely see it. And of course there's a loo, but you can't really go in the loo, unfortunately. It's not modeled. A lot of other companies, they like to put like little animations with the flushing and all that. But not PMDG. They are really straight to business guys. Yeah, Betsy's always quiet, man. She hates my guts, let me tell you. She does hate my guts. So we are coming up on Nook. Let's look at our pad, and we are really off. You can see here why sometimes Beyond ETC will tell you that you're out of the route, so beyond the route, and this is exactly what's going on. And this only happens when flying up north for some reason. I don't know if it's a flight simulator thing. So 1000 to go, flight level 240. That's our clearance for now. And we're descending way back, so we're still below the ideal flight path. You can see here on the ND. So we're 10,000 feet below where we should be according to our performance. This will make us spend a lot more fuel than expected. So, by the way, we don't really have a way for alternates. Are you daydreaming? Drexy is saying you're daydreaming. Is that it? It's nighttime, Betsy. Why are you thinking about the day? Betty, I know you're looking at me from the corner of your eye. You want to look at me. You're pretending to be concentrating in your work, but you're not. That's why you don't get that 4th stripe. You're not a people person. Right? Yeah. We're still at about 180 nautical miles. Maybe too far to start descending, but we are obeying to flight control. ATC. Oh, then look at the Milky Way. I think she's dreaming about stars. What am I saying? Alright, we got some weather up ahead, nothing fancy. Right, Richard? Yeah, some weather. I'm going to set up terrain here. Just setting that up now before anything else. And we're gonna need some pretty good braking power, but I think we're gonna stick to 1. Let's go to our landing performance. We can get that. So runway 04. Import aircraft details, auto brakes. Yeah, let's set auto brakes 1. See if there's all OP. Non-normal. Well, there might be some rain. Oh no. Well, there might be some rain or ice. So I'm gonna set engine anti-ice for sure. We just need to see if there's wing anti-ice. Let's import the weather from Nook. -12. The predict. Alright, so we need more auto brakes. Alright, so let's get auto brakes 3. Yeah, that's about it. So auto brakes 3. Alright, so we're gonna need 5,117 feet, and there's 7,000 available. Let me try to get auto brakes 2. What do we got with auto brakes 2? Yeah, not much room for yeah, not much room for errors, but let's use auto brakes 3. There's no point in trying our luck here. Alright, pretty good. Let's go back to the FB. Let's go back to the chart. Let's leave it there for now. And that's it. We're getting a little closer now. Oh, this is the one I'm getting a little closer. Still a little off to the left. Remember, the plane is being harassed by wind from the side, so it's normal that it's a little off. There's one picture I really like to make when we are at this point in the flight. Let's see if I can make it. This picture. I mean, you can barely make it. It should be a little higher so we can have the perfect silhouette, but you can really see the plane there. It's a beautiful picture. Again, a little more light and it will be perfect. We also can turn off our wing lights so we can see a little more something. At least we can now see the engines. Although I think these lights are not really effective, but it will allow us to see also the slats, so we can see if there's ice forming. We will need to turn on the anti-ice. gonna stay a few days in Greenland. At least we hope no one buys it. Wink wink. I'm getting some strange vibes from what's going on here. So, what's this waypoint here we're flying to? So that's GH. We might need to override GH then, because... Oh, what am I doing? Because GH is a little off. So we're going direct to GH here. We might need to go direct to Koenig, because if we go direct to GH, as it is now, we'll be to the left side of the airfield. So I'm hoping that they will give us direct coordinates to Koenig and not GH. You know what? Let's fly direct to Koenig. I don't really like this. I don't really like this. So how do we do this? Let me see. Because in the Airbus we got a direct to. So let me remember, what do I do here? Koenig. Yep, that's it. Alright, I still remember. This will bring us to the right, and it will allow us to get closer to the initial approach point for runway 04. So let's execute. The plane will make a slide, right hand turn now, as it is. We're still a bit off, so no biggie. For the ATC it would be absolutely not relevant. But for us, we'll be heading straight to the approach for runway 04. There will be light in Nook. I assure you, Drexy, I've done this flight a few times. There will be light. Nook itself is a small city. It's more like a village, not like a city. So there is light. And the airfield is quite well illuminated, the airfield itself. I should probably just time accelerate it a little bit now, just for the sake of getting us there faster. As you see, we're still below the assigned altitude here. Some weather up there. We're still not clear to descend below flight level 240. We've just been cleared to go directly towards Nook. You can imagine how this airfield will be treacherous and dangerous if there was a snowstorm or something like that. So it's a good thing it now has ILS. Well, it has ILS for some time now. I just mean in flight sim. The airport is about 1 year old, I think, at the add-on for Nook. I'm not sure, Drexy. If I have the time tomorrow, I'll make the flight out. If not, Thursday. I usually fly on Thursdays as well. But if I'm really ecstatic with the planes, I might fly more than once. So that's usually how it works. reaches, when this whole set of text reaches 80 miles, I'll stop time dilation. You can see that our difference is decreasing. That means that we've reached the top of descent, pre-planned top of descent area, and now we are converging on the optimal descent rate. I don't know why we were...
Amazon 78 Foxtrot, contact nuke radar 12.3.
Contact nuke radar 121.3, Amazon 78 Foxtrot. Nuke radar, Amazon 78 Foxtrot, flight level 240.
Amazon 78 Foxtrot, nuke radar, radar contact.
Alright, we got radar contact. Just concerned with the fuel consumption, because we've been flying at 240 for quite some time now. If we needed to go to the alternate, we would be in deep trouble now. Let's hope we don't. Oh, I forgot to do something standby. I forgot to place the airfield altitude, which will be quite a low airfield. 245 feet, so 24. Oops, it's 200. Let me turn on track IR, it's much easier that way. Oh. I need to go to the other one, which is this one. Alright. Is that 250? There's. Alright, that's 250 knots, so it's 245, but 245 feet, but it's 250 is close enough. And this is just for depressurization, especially important in airports that are in altitude, which isn't the case. So right now we passed the optimum descent and now we're above it, so I hope they give us a descent soon. Let's get to our... so the winds, let's request them again. Let's go for the performance. There it is. So we're expecting flaps 30 at speed 149 when we do have glide slope and turn on. So the runway course is 042. Let's set that up. Whoops, what is this? This FMC. Forecasts, winds ready. Alright, loaded and done. Alright, clear. Alright, good enough. So 042, let's set also 042. We are currently heading towards our path. We're going to reduce our speed now to allow us some time and save some fuel. Yeah, probably tomorrow or Thursday if I don't make it tomorrow. It's just a matter of timing for me. I'm going to request a flight level change. I'm going to request 15,000. Oh, there it is.
Foxtrot, flight present heading descend to 7,000 feet, QNH 1015. Expect further clearance in about 48 miles.
Flight present heading, ascend to 7,000 feet to QNH 1015, 78 Foxtrot.
There we go. Let's go with a good descent rate. We need to recover this lost time, so. Decelerate to 250 knots. Let's go to 45. I'm trying to do it as fast as I can, Drexy, I'm sorry. I can't go faster than this. I mean, I can, but should I? Call the flight attendants. So we are accelerating, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to extend the speed brakes. This will allow the plane to decelerate. Hello? Went to the flight tent. Drex is on my time schedule. It's 2250 here, 2200 hours, so almost 2300 hours. So yeah, it's not early. Yep, 10 to 11. That's it. Going through flight level 200. Or flight level 200 if you prefer. You can see the approach phase right there, and I think I called a good choice by turning directly to the Nook initial. Otherwise we'll be having to manually turn to intercept it anyway. So with this tailwind, I think we're going to gain about 20 minutes earlier, so that's good. Yeah, Richard, but as you saw, I time accelerated, so it's midnight Zulu time now in Sim, so we still have our speed brakes extended. We can extend them further to flight to 10. That's it. To really not allow us to accelerate too much, but you see the plane's still struggling not to exceed 250 knots. So that's why I picked 245, but I'm afraid it's not enough. We're descending pretty fast now, as we should, because we need to reach 7,000 before that interception. Because remember, we need to be at 3,500 at Koenig. Actually, 4,800, sorry, at Koenig. And currently we're only authorized to go to 7,000 feet. So, yeah, we need to continue descending pretty fast, I'm afraid. What does this do to passengers? Well, we have cargo, but it also hurts the eardrums quite a lot, even to pilots, to descend this fast, because we are literally depressurizing the plane as we go down, and so the depressurization rate is going to kill our eardrums. And I'm doing that at 2,000 feet per minute, so that's not really that steep, but steep enough to blow your eardrums. Yeah, sun's completely out, no moon, so completely pitch black outside. This is the North Pole. I'm going to show you real quick what it looks like during the daytime around here. So you see, actually there's clouds, there's not much to see, but I can assure you there's only ice down there. Back to real time. What should make her speak? She doesn't speak with anybody. In Portugal, we call these people animals of the, well, what's it called? Bicho do mato. It's animal from the.
78 Foxtrot QNH 1015 expect radar vectors for ILSU runway 04.
All right.
QNH 1015 expect radar vectors for ILSU runway 04 Amazon 78 Foxtrot.
Animal from the jungle, something like that, because it's someone that it's not really into people. Let's put this into. Alright, descent checklist anti-ice. We are going to turn on the engine anti-ice. Right there. Let's leave the wing anti-ice for now. Landing altitude has been set. Approach briefing complete. Descent checklist above the line complete. I pressed the button accidentally, didn't I? Or was it the auto brake? Auto brake 3 is correct. I sometimes I scroll around with the mouse and I accidentally scroll a button or two. I hope I didn't activate something weird. Alright, passing 10 tau. External lights on. Let me set my track IR correctly now. There you go. Oh, there's still sun. You know, in the North Pole, we're not exactly in the North Pole, but quite close to it. During the winter, there's almost no sun, or very little sun. I think there are some times, I think during the winter solstice, or right about December, this is the only sun they get, like a glare in the horizon. Very weird.
Amazon 78 Foxtrot, descend to 5,300 feet.
3,500.
5,300 feet at Amazon 78 Foxtrot.
Amazon 78 Foxtrot, 16 miles from GH04I, turn right, heading 065, maintain 2,500 feet until established on the final approach course. Clear ILS2, runway 04.
Turn right, heading 065, 2,500 feet until established. Clear ILS runway 04 Amazon 78 Foxtrot.
Alright, let's concentrate now. 065. And we are clear for the ILS. Altitude set local. QNH, oh, we need to change to inches. QNH 1013. 15. Whoa. QNH 1015. There it is. $1,000 to go. And we're going to continue our descent, by the way, to 3,500 until established. 3,500 until established on GH04 India. Alright, we're turning in. Let's go to runway heading 042. Overshot the localizer slightly. Still in the clouds. There's Nook. I can see it. There it is. Alright, let's decel this plane. We're going very, very fast now. Come on, decel it, baby. Plane's having a hard time intercepting ILS, so I'm gonna help it. There we go. Flaps 1. Maybe too soon. Alright, back to autopilot. Speed check, flaps 1. We got ground here to our right, ground proximity. Speed check, flaps 5. Did I put 5? No, 2. One more, 5. Gear down. Approach mode, disengage for some reason, and we were going to fly above the glide path, so let's turn it back on. I know why, I turned VNAV and LNAV on instead of approach. Speed check, flaps 10. Let's go to VREF 149. Flaps 15. Flaps 25. And flaps 30. Approach checklist, altimeter set, decision height set, approach speed set, approach data cleared, approach buttons is on, speed brake is come on, come on. Armed, alright. Flaps are set. Landing checklist, go on altitude, set. Landing gear is down 3 green, landing flaps set. Landing checklist complete. Alright, here we go, guys. Feet on pedals. Autopilot off. There's a slight wind from the left, so we're going to crab slightly to the left to compensate that. We're a little above, so let's get our nose down a little bit. Let's turn on our runway turn-off lights. That's why you need a co-pilot, guys.
1,000.
1000 check. We can actually use this. Much better. Ah, much better. See, it is helpful.
Approaching minimums.
Check.
500. Minimums.
Continue. Whoa.
300. 200. 150. 30. 20. 10.
Touchdown. Reverse. Auto brake set. Not a lot of room. See, guys? Auto brake max. Reverse set to idle.
Exit next to the other taxiway and in 78 Foxtrot.
So you need to backtrack. We can't exit anywhere but backtrack. Over this. Auto brakes set to off. So we need to backtrack. We need to find the platform to do so. That was a very standard landing, to be honest. What do we got here? Speed brakes do not... Oh, we need to disarm the speed brakes. They should go, when we add throttle, they should go forward, but I prefer to do this. Flaps up. Here goes the turn around. Let's clear this for now. That's snow, alright. Okay, turn off our terrain here. Weather radar off. Sliding all over. Let's go back to the terminal. We're going to keep our landing lights on while we're on the taxiway. Sorry, on the runway. After landing checklist, auto brake set off, flaps retracted, speed brakes are down. Landing lights, well, we're going to keep it on while we're backtracking. Strobe lights, we can keep it on while we're taxiing. After that, we'll turn on our taxi lights, set our transponder to altitude off. So, altitude. No, this is a different transponder. But we can turn off TARA. That is. APU, turn on. Back on. Starting up. Terrain and weather display off. And we're going to stop the clock as soon as we get out of the runway. It's a big mountain. You guys, I think you guys can't see it, but there's a big mountain behind the airport. It's beautiful. Let's turn around, turn here, or maybe not. Let's go to the terminal. There's no traffic anyway. Let's go back to terminal because this is a very long taxiway. I don't think it's connected. Yeah, it is connected, but we can exit there. There's no traffic in the airfield anyway. That was a very pleasant flight, to be honest. So TAT -12. There's no rain, no clouds actually, or barely any clouds, so no need for wing anti-ice. But it will require anti-ice while leaving, because there will be moisture in the air. Alright, this is the gate, and this is our exit. Alright, taxi light on, landing lights off. APU gen is available. Turn here. Oh, this is our gate right here. Yep, this is our gate. So this is the 330 gate, by the way. The A330 comes in here and makes this right hand turn here to gate 1. That's exactly where we're going. And it's pretty cool because that's actually Air Greenland doing our handling now. Let's zoom in for our marshaller. Pretty straightforward. Slow down. Alright, good enough. Set parking brake. Waiting for his indication to switch off. It's gonna do this little weird dance. And there it is. Please cut off engines. We got APU. Let's get our APU bleed in. Our generators are on. 1 off, 2 off. Alright, what we got here is just overhead. Right, can turn off engine anti-ice. Packs will be on until, yeah, it's the drive. Standby power is off. Alright, so parking and shutdown. Parking brake is set. Taxi lights to off. Good call. My bad. We can call GSX to deboard the plane. We probably have the chocks on. If not, we'll get to it right now. Set the chocks and request ground power.
Crew to boarding started.
So the air stairs are extending. Anti-collision lights to off. We forgot to turn off the strobe steady. Back to strobe and steady. Flight directors set off. Passenger signs. There's no passengers on board. Who cares? Yaw damper off. Hydraulic pumps to off. It seems that we got our main exit open. Fuel pumps to off. Let's leave forward one on. And probe heat to off. And doors to open. Alright. Parking checklist complete. Alright guys, welcome to Nook in Greenland. We're gonna take a walk outside. Here we are. Forgot the stairs. So once more we turn on power and we extend the stairs. So this should be done from the inside, but GSX apparently doesn't operate these stairs. Alright, and let's open the door. Alright, guys, packages are arriving safe and sound. Look at that, that's our first container. Lots of Temu and Amazon stuff inside. Of course, there's no Temu, this is all Amazon. Same thing on the other side, there's also being unloaded some other cargo. Oh, these wheels keep turning. Kind of reminds me of that music. And the wheels just keep on turning, and the drummer began to drum. Guys, welcome to Nuuk, welcome to Greenland. This is a beautiful place to go, although very inhospitable. I wouldn't like to live here, but to visit, yeah, why not? It looks pretty cool. I wonder if those guys like Josh, those guys that do flights, I wonder if they ever gone to Nuuk. Not sure. Maybe they did. I never saw it. Guys, Trexie, Richard, who else came around? Mirsha and Andrew. All of you guys, thank you so much for attending. This was a very cool flight, I think. I enjoyed it very much. I hope you guys enjoyed it as well. It was a very cool flight from Boston to Nuuk on board this incredible Boeing 737 BCF. BCF stands for Boeing Conversion Freighter. All the way to Nuuk in Greenland, and aside from a couple hiccups, mostly provoked by me, the flight was very pleasant. Oh my god, they're bringing luggage, or are those packages? I need to check this. Let me see. Let me go to the other side. Are those packages, guy? Hello. Oh, they are packages. Look at that. Pretty cool. There's one from Best Buy. There's one from Target. JD.com, UPS, what's that? DHL, eBay. Oh, there's one from Amazon. Finally. That's a good stuff right there. Amazon package. Really cool. So again, guys, welcome to Nuuk. This was Premier Boeing 737 BCF, actually operated by ASL Airlines, which an airline we know very well in Europe. Next flight will be out of Nuuk. We are hoping that we can take a bigger plane this time out of Nuuk. But anyway, this is a very pleasant airport. This is a very pleasant flight for our duration. We compressed time quite a bit. And here we are, safe and sound. No big weather. We just had some turbulence out of Boston, crosswinds. A little rain. But Nuuk, look at that. Nuuk is pretty good at this time of the year. See you next time. Hope you guys enjoyed. Remember, the skies will always shine bright blue above the thunderstorm. The sun is always shining. See you guys. See you next time. Cheers. Bye.
I love to fly up in the sky. Through the clouds I reach so high. Climbing up to touch the light. Adventure calls me day and night. The wind, it sings a melody, guiding where I long to be. I'll spread my wings and chase the sun. No limits when the dreams begun. The world below fades out of sight as I soar into the light. The stars above begin to shine, painting trails so bright and fine. Every turn brings something new, endless skies in brilliant blue. The wind, it sings a melody, guiding where I